Lewis had been drifting through the Outer Rim for 3 years, ever since the colonies had branded him a salvage thief. The accusation was false, but truth mattered little when corporations owned the courts. Now he piloted a rust bucket hauler through debris fields, claiming what others abandoned, surviving on scraps and spite. The cargo pod appeared on his scanners like a gift from the void itself. Registration tags marked it as property of the Vraxian Commerce Guild, abandoned for 2 standard years. By galactic salvage law, it was fair game. Lewis maneuvered his ship alongside the massive container, its hull scarred by micrometeorite impacts and radiation burns. "Let's see what the lizards left behind," he muttered, activating the docking clamps. The Vraxians were meticulous record keepers, obsessed with efficiency and profit margins. For them to abandon a cargo pod meant its contents were worthless, contaminated, or cursed. Lewis didn't believe in curses. The airlock hissed open, revealing mountains of twisted metal and broken machinery. Circuit boards, hull plating, damaged quantum drives, the usual scrap. Lewis's hopes of finding something valuable dimmed. He'd need to sell tonnage just to break even on fuel costs. Then he saw the glow. Deep within the pile, barely visible between sheets of titanium alloy, something pulsed with soft blue light. Lewis climbed over the debris, his magnetic boots clanking against the metal floor. The glow intensified as he approached, and he realized it wasn't machinery at all. It was a stasis pod, but not just any stasis pod. The design was wrong. Organic curves instead of straight lines, grown rather than manufactured. Bioluminescent patterns flowed across its surface like veins carrying light instead of blood. And inside, suspended in translucent gel, was a girl. She looked human, maybe 20 years old, with pale skin and dark hair that floated around her face. But her ears had a slight point and her fingers were too long. Too elegant, not quite human, not quite alien. Lewis's hand hovered over the emergency release. Every instinct screamed at him to walk away. People didn't abandon living cargo by accident. This was someone's property, someone's experiment, someone's mistake. He pressed the release anyway. The pod split open with a hiss of escaping atmosphere. The gel drained away and the girl's eyes snapped open. Eyes that were entirely silver, no iris, no pupil. Just mirrors reflecting Lewis's shocked face. She gasped, coughed, and collapsed forward. Lewis caught her, surprised by how light she felt, how cold her skin was. "Easy," he said. "You're safe now." "Safe?" Her voice was raw, unused. "No one is safe. Not anymore." Before Lewis could ask what she meant, alarms shrieked through his ship. His neural implant flooded with warnings. 15 ships dropping out of hyperspace, surrounding the cargo pod. Vraxian warships, their weapons already charging. The girl, Orla, he would later learn her name, gripped his arm with impossible strength. "They came for me. They always come. Who are you?" "The last thing they should have created." Her silver eyes met his. "I am what happens when you splice human DNA with the architect species. I am the bridge they cannot allow to exist. The architects." Lewis had heard stories. An ancient race that built the hyperlanes, the quantum gates, all the infrastructure that held the galaxy together. They'd vanished 1,000,000 years ago, leaving only ruins and technology no one could replicate. Every spacefaring species owed their civilization to architect relics. And the Vraxians had somehow mixed that with human genetics. The Vraxians created you? Not created. Grew. Cultivated. They found preserved architect genetic material and combined it with samples from your species. Humans are adaptable, tenacious. We integrate foreign DNA better than any species in the galaxy. Orla's voice grew stronger. "I was meant to be a weapon, a tool to unlock architects' secrets. But I became something more." The ship shuddered as a tractor beam locked onto the cargo pod. Lewis pulled Orla toward his hauler, but she resisted. "You need to listen carefully," she said. "Inside me is the complete genetic memory of the architect species. Their history, their technology, their warnings. The Vraxians don't want to unlock it, they want to destroy it. Because the architects didn't vanish. They evolved beyond physical form and left explicit instructions. No species should follow their path until they've achieved unity." Unity? Peace, cooperation, an end to the endless wars over resources and territory. Orla's silver eyes blazed. The architects built the hyperlanes as a test. Any species that could use them to wage war instead of building civilization would be contained. I carry the activation codes for that containment. The hauler's hull groaned under weapons lock. Lewis made his decision in a heartbeat. He'd been an outcast for 3 years, hunted by corporations, abandoned by his people. Maybe it was time to remind the galaxy what humans did best: survive, adapt, and protect those who couldn't protect themselves. "Can you access a quantum transmitter?" he asked. Orla smiled, and in that smile Lewis saw something ancient and terrible and beautiful. "I am a quantum transmitter. I just needed someone to give me permission to broadcast." "Then broadcast. Wake up whatever the architects left sleeping." Orla placed her palm against the cargo pod's wall. Light exploded from her hand, racing through the metal through space itself. Every hyperspace lane in the galaxy lit up simultaneously. Every architect ruin activated. Every quantum gate hummed with sudden power. And across 1,000 worlds in 1,000 languages the same message echoed: "The test is over." Unity has been found in the most unlikely place, in an outcast who chose compassion over survival, in a creation who chose freedom over obedience. The bridges are open. The galaxy will rebuild or it will end. Choose wisely. The Varaxian weapons powered down. Their ships retreated, their commanders realizing too late that destroying Orla would accomplish nothing. The message was already spreading, unstoppable as starlight. Lewis looked at the girl who had awakened the galaxy. "What happens now?" Orla's silver eyes softened, becoming almost human. Now we find others like you. Humans who remember what your species was before you scattered to the stars. Humans who still believe that the outcast, the abandoned, and the broken deserve a second chance." She extended her hand. "Will you help me?" Lewis took it without hesitation. For the first time in 3 years, he felt like he had a purpose beyond mere survival. Together, they would show the galaxy what humanity had always known: that sometimes the most powerful force in the universe wasn't technology or weapons or ancient genetic memory. Sometimes it was simply choosing to be kind when the whole galaxy expected you to be cruel. The hauler's engines roared to life, carrying 2 outcasts into a galaxy that would never be the same.